Hello out there, everybody. This is the Mass Law Student, and thank you for joining me on my YouTube page. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be up to date on when I drop content. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, the Mass Law Student. I have a lot of good content on there. Now that I got that out of the way, let's dive on into this meaty subject. All right, let's get started. So, we're going to talk about essay writing and the approach that I used in taking the October 2021 baby bar and passing on the first attempt. We're going to call this approach building the skeleton. I got a spark of an idea from this guy on YouTube that I guess he took the baby bar a few years ago. He passed, and what he did was, under time conditions, he rewrote every single word that he wrote on the actual baby bar to kind of give people an idea of what it's like to write, to try to ease some anxiety. So it kind of sparked an idea, and I ran with it and I made it my own, and this is what this presentation is going to be about. So I am not going to try to take credit for this. I just say I got an idea from him and I ran with it. All right, let's keep going. Right, so I'm sure you're wondering, what is the skeleton? Well, I'm glad you asked that question because I'm going to answer it. The skeleton, it is your foundation and your blueprint for writing your essay. The skeleton consists of the issue and the rule. So just imagine that you read the fact pattern, you see everything in there, and you're listing it. It's your blueprint. It's your foundation for what you are going to write. And it consists, again, of the issue and the rule. Let's move on. All right. So after we build the skeleton, which is the issue and the rule, now we're going to move on to building the rest of the body to make it a complete creation. Now you got to remember, when you're doing your essays, it's going to be issue, rule, analysis, conclusion, IRAC. So the skeleton is the issue and the rule, and the rest of the body is the analysis and the conclusion. So keep that in mind. IRAC. Issue, rule, analysis, conclusion. Let's move on. All right, so now it's time to put it to application. So here is a fake fact pattern for instructional purposes only. You can pause this video and read it for yourself and then move on. But as you begin to read the fact pattern, you're going to start looking for the issues. And as you see each issue, you're going to write it down quickly, and then you're going to go back to reading the fact pattern. So just remember, as you continue to see the issues, you're going to write it down and keep going. So you can pause this video and watch it, but we're going to keep going for the interest of time. All right, so here's an example of what it will look like, or what it looked like when I listed each issue. So as I'm reading, I see larceny, I keep reading. I see burglary, I keep reading. I see assault, battery, robbery. Now again, this is just a fake make-believe scenario. It's not meant to encompass all things criminal law. I'm just doing this as a dummy example, so don't judge me. But as you can see, this is how it should look. Now let's move on to the next step. All right, so once you're done reading the entire fact pattern and you list all the issues that you see, now is the time where you start your rapid fire application of your black letter law. I'll do a video down the road explaining, rapid fire application and what I did to prepare for it. But as you can see, I had the issue listed, and now I've typed in the rule of law for each one. So again, I started off with just the issues as I read the fact pattern. And then once I finished with the fact pattern, I went right away and started rapid application of the rules of law. Let's move on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So now that we've learned how to build the skeleton, which consists of the issue and the rule. So again, just to recap, you're going to read through the fact pattern. As you see the issues, you jot down the issue and you keep reading until you're done. Once you're done with the reading of the fact pattern, then you do your rapid fire application of your black letter law. Now that brings us to this point where it's time to build the rest of the body. Let's see how it's done. All right, here goes another example from criminal law. I don't know if I said it in the previous slides, but All of these things that I'm putting up here, this is what I actually wrote out for the October 2021 California Baby Bar. And this is what helped me pass. So everything you see here, the bar examiners considered it to be good to go. So as you can see, I have the issue, first degree murder. And then I provide the rule of law, and then break it down a little more, and then I show my analysis and then my conclusion. So just showing that example. All right, let's keep going. All right, here goes another example of building the skeleton, issue and rule, and then adding the rest of the body, which is the analysis and the conclusion. Now, feel free to pause this. You can write this stuff down, and if you want to use it, you can use it. Again, like I said, this is what I used and I passed. Now, I'm not saying that my stuff is perfect or that my way is the only way. There's many different ways to skin a cat, but it's like the old folks say, you chew the meat, spit out the bone. So whatever, you like in this, keep it. If you don't like it, throw it away. But as you can see, this is another example. Let's move on to another example. All right, so now I'm going to start using contracts examples. Now, obviously, the fact pattern that you read was for criminal, but let's just imagine if it was a fact pattern for contracts. I would have listed governing law first, and I would have kept reading because you already know you're going to have to write that down anyways, because if it's a contracts fact pattern, it's going to either fall under the UCC, which is a Uniform Commercial Code, or it's going to fall under common law. So you just put down governing law, bold it, underline it, and then provide your spill, your rules of law for it, and then your analysis. All right, let's move on. All right, just providing another example for contracts. And this is also something that my own flavor that I put on it for the rule of law. I put down an offer is the manifestation of a willingness to enter into an agreement and to be bound by all terms of the agreement by creating a power of acceptance and giving it to the offeree. Um, like I said, that was just my flavor I put on it. But, if you know that there's an offer, you're going to put offer as the issue, then you're going to provide the rule, and then you're going to provide your analysis and your conclusion. You're just building. I'm just showing you examples of how you build. All right, let's move on. Okay, so now we're in negligence, which is torts. Now I'm going to spend a few minutes on that, not a few minutes, but just, a little more time on this because negligence essays can be a racehorse. And in the world of torts, um, you can almost bet that negligence is a high tester. So because this is a racehorse, it is definitely important for you to learn how to build this skeleton fast. It's not easy. It's going to take a lot of practice. I know I sat down on my laptop almost every day and I would work on building this negligence skeleton. And at first, took me like 20 minutes to write the whole thing out. But after some time, I got better with it and I was able to get it down to like between 9 to 12 minutes, maybe 9 to 13 minutes, which is good. And one of the benefits of building the skeleton, especially when it comes to negligence, you might have joint tortfeasors, right? Which is multiple people. So if you have a fact pattern where multiple people have a negligence claim against them, when you build the skeleton, all you have to do is take that blank skeleton, copy it, and paste it how many ever times you need to paste it for the people that are facing a negligence claim. So now you can write for 4 different negligence claims against 4 different defendants, and you only had to type it out once. So now all you have to do is just supply your analysis and your conclusion, which is building the rest of the body. So this is a racehorse. So, and sometimes when you have a negligence essay, you're going to have other things involved as well. You might have battery, you might have conversion. There's a bunch of different things that you could have. So definitely when it comes to this, just practice. Again, I would sit down on my computer and I would just type out my skeleton. What negligence was, duty, breach, causation, damages, and defenses. I would just constantly do it. All right, let's keep going for the interest of time. All right, so here's some more stuff pertaining to negligence. This is dealing with the breach. So we're going to look at res ipsa locator. So you can pause this to see this for yourself, but you can see how the skeleton is built with this. I'm going to write down res ipsa locator, write down what it means, and then I'm going to break down and itemize the three elements that are involved in res ipsa locator. So the harm/injury would not have occurred in the absence of negligence. The duty or the defendant was in control of the instrument and or event that caused the harm, and then the plaintiff did not contribute to the negligence. So as you can see, when you have to write out for, just the negligence heading, and then you have to write, duty, foreseeability, standard of care, possibly special duty doctrine, etc. This is a meaty thing. So you got to really work on typing and your speed for building that skeleton. So that way you can focus a lot of your time on building the body, which is the analysis and the conclusion. You can pause this and you can read it for yourself. This is what I put on there to actually pass for the baby bar. All right. All right. So for the interest of time, I'm not going to go over everything pertaining to negligence and negligence essay. I just chose to use, portions of negligence because that is a huge high tester. But here is an example of building the skeleton for your defenses. Now, one of the good things that, you probably want to do, it's up to you, you do whatever you want to do. But when you're dealing with a traditional negligence claim, you want to try to list all of the defenses, because a lot of times the questions don't necessarily say list all of them, but just some of the training that I've received from, my school and various reading, you want to list all of them just so you have it listed down, because it's better to have it and not need it, or it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So you can see where I provided contributory negligence, gave the rule of law, comparative fault, pure partial, and then assumption of the risk. All right, y'all, I almost forgot to mention this. My apologies, my apologies. But let me cut to the chase. When it comes to the essay writing, this is something that's very important that can get you some points. Obviously, it's your job. You're the essay writer, and you're going to read the fact pattern, and you're going to identify, spot all the issues that are relevant, and you're going to write on them, right? You're supposed to spot all the accurate issues that pertain to that. However, there are going to be times where there's going to be issues that arise, and it would almost be a legitimate issue, but there might be an element that's missing, or there might have been an element that was added that materially changes the issue. So the bar graders, they're going to want to know that you can tell the difference between two different issues and how you identified that this issue should be listed versus the other issue. Now, I'll give you a quick example. Let's say if we're doing a criminal fact pattern, let's say somebody walks into a store and they pick up a candy bar to steal it. Now, we know larceny is the trespass, retaking, and carrying away of the property of another with the intent to permanently deprive. So by the person picking up the candy bar and trying to walk out the store, we know, okay, that's on the surface going to be a larceny. Now let's add to that. Now let's say a store employee sees that person trying to take the candy bar, and the employee tries to intervene as they try to steal the candy bar. Now, as the staff member intervenes, the suspect uses some type of force to try to stop the employee's actions. So now that trespass, retaking, and carrying away of the property of another with the intent to permanently deprive, now because force was used, it has escalated to a different crime, which would be robbery, which is the taking, or what is it? Robbery is the taking of the property of another from their person or in their presence, with the intent to permanently deprive through force or fear. Some people say force, fear, intimidation, however you want to word it, right? But that same course of events dramatically changed. It went from a larceny to a robbery because force was used. So when you write your essay, you're going to write out for larceny, and then in your analysis and your conclusion, you're going to explain, that under normal circumstances it would be a larceny, but because force was used, yada yada, the more appropriate charge would be robbery. And then you're going to write for robbery and give your explanation. So that can get you points. So don't think that the only way you get points is for listing correct issues. You also can get points for listing issues that are not, how can I put it? They're not legitimate 100% issues because they might be missing an element or an element was added. But the bar graders, they want to know that you know that and you can demonstrate that you know that and you can tell the difference. So make sure when you see an issue and you're like, oh, that would be this. And then you're like, well, wait a minute, that can't be that because this happened. Don't just disregard that and keep going. Write that in there. Obviously, you don't want to take forever, but right in there, what you thought it could be or what it could have been, but because of something else, it will be a higher charge or a lesser charge or an increased issue or a lesser issue. All right. So that wasn't so bad, was it? Like I said, I got that spark of an idea from a guy who passed the baby bar a few years ago, and he did a video on kind of outlining your essay, and it kind of just gave me a good idea, and I ran with it, and I just called it building the skeleton. Now, when it comes to essay writing, you definitely have to practice. You have to practice, 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 because as you do more essays, then it'll be easier for you to spot the issues, and it'll be easier for you to spot the issue, jot down the issue, go back to reading the fact pattern, jot down another issue, and continue to read, right? So definitely practice. I prepped from the beginning of May until literally the day before October 26th, I think. That was when the baby bar was. I did prep work all the way during that time, and I would do like probably, I don't know, maybe 5 to 6 essays a day. I mean, a week, not a day, but a week. And I would just constantly practice. So definitely you want to work on your mechanics. You want to work on your typing speed. You want to work on how you're going to format your essays, because one of the big things is when you're building your essay, you're building your skeleton, you're building your body. When you're putting everything together, you want to make sure that it looks presentable. You want to make sure that when you list all of the issues are in the order that they appeared in the fact patterns, because you want to make it as easy as possible for the bar grader to grade your essay, because they're only going to take like 2 to 3 minutes, I guess, from what we're told, to grade the essay. So definitely you want to make sure that you're practicing, work on your black letter law, because the only way that you can do the rapid fire application is through working on your black letter law. And I'm going to do a video on what I mean by, or not what I mean by, but what I actually did to work on my rapid fire drills. Because I'm telling you, the only way that building the skeleton is going to really work, you have to know your black letter law to be able to apply the rapid application of black letter law. Um, that's pretty much all I have for right now. I'm going to put up some more content, but I want everybody to win. I want everybody to win. Get that bag, get that bag. Everybody, I want you guys to win. So I'm going to, obviously, you can read these disclaimers, but I'll say it out loud as well, that I am not an attorney. I'm not a law professor. So just know that I'm just giving you information about what I did to prepare for the baby bar, right? There's more than one way to skin a cat. And I know there's somebody in the back that's going to say, well, you should have said this, or, well, I would have. Well, I don't care what you would have done, okay? Because I'm just telling the people what I did, okay? I'm not perfect. Probably could have received a few extra points on some essays, but I can say that I'm proud to say that on one of my essays, I scored in the 90s. So, I feel good about that. But just know I'm just giving you my perspective on how to pass the baby bar, or what I did to pass for the baby bar. Don't take what I say too seriously, again, because I'm not a lawyer, not a law professor. I'm just a law student wanting to pay it forward and give some good information that helped me so that other people can move forward and move on with their studies. Right, so we've come to the embarrassing part of the presentation. I guess this is where I'm supposed to start, begging like an R&B singer, just asking you to come back. Baby, please, please like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel. Just, baby, just don't leave me. Come back, baby. I'll do right. I'll wash the dishes. Baby, just don't leave me. Yeah, it's a little cheesy, whatever. But please, please like and share this video. Um, I hope it was beneficial. Subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified when new content drops, and follow me on Instagram, the Mass Law Student. The link will be in the description of this video. But again, just think of me as an R&B singer, and I'm just telling you, baby, just stay. Come back and see me again, baby. I'll clean the room. I'll do the dishes, whatever. But just, baby, I need you back. I'm just messing with y'all. But thank you for tuning into this, and I look forward to having more videos up, and hopefully you'll enjoy.